This will be my last video for tonight, so hopefully you can just see a lot of insight, what's going to be shared, and hopefully if the Lord puts on your heart to share with others, please do. Thank you if you took the time for watching any of those videos. They're mine, it's just as much as God's, and just hopefully whatever happens after the rapture, hopefully you're not left behind. I'm sure that wouldn't be very pleasant. And if you are, I'm just going to give a little info before I share these, I believe they're visions, and yeah, whatever it is I'm going to share. So let me just share something before that. Just in case whatever happens to you, say if you are left behind, I encourage you to find a Bible if you can. I encourage you to find other people who know God. Don't just profess to know God and really don't. And if they do not really know God, let that be a time to lead them to Christ. What a perfect time to lead them to Christ in such a time as that. If they do know Christ, get together with them. Not just saying trust anybody. Just try to get together with them. Pray with them. Pray without ceasing. I got to do that too, of course. But just pray with them. Be there just together. Just be there. Lift each other up. Be there to support each other. Even though what you're going to go through, very horrific if you're left behind. So find a Bible if you can. I'm not saying go just anywhere. I'm sure that you're not going to want to do that. If you have a way to get a Bible, if it's accessible, do it ASAP. I mean, if you can. And if you can't, if you have memorized verses, or if you can sum it up, God doesn't expect us to be perfect. He knows we're in a fallen world. But yeah, just quote verses to people if you need to. Just be out there preaching to people if that's God's will. I assume it is. It's going to be His will that people out there preaching the gospel. He's going to use a lot of people. It's going to be a great revival. It's going to be one last revival, and it's going to be awesome. So hopefully you get to. Not saying you should stay here to watch that all occur, but hopefully if you are left behind, if you whether decide to or are left, hopefully you can help others come to Christ and see something miraculous happen, see how many people actually come to Christ. I'm not saying you're going to be there enjoying any of that, because I don't think you are if you're left, but hopefully you do get to if you are left, be a part of one of those people who get to lead a lot to Christ. So I just want to let you know that there are going to be most Christians who won't make it in the rapture, and whatever they say, whatever they come up with, the government's going to come up with something to tell the people a lie, and God's going to let them believe it. I mean, that's what I believe, that if you do any research, there's God's word, He's gonna let them believe a lie, and you got to know that this is somehow it's gonna take place. And if you hear talk, there are people. I've heard it once at least. I've seen a video where how it would look as if it was to go down. Like the news and all this stuff, like what would they be saying, and it's just like they make it look so realistic, like as if the rapture already took place. I've seen a video on it. I don't know, it was a while back. But yeah, hopefully you can make it, and if you don't, hopefully you rather suffer for Christ than burn forever. So just hopefully this can kind of just get you to know that something that we have to make every effort bit possible to, as much as we need to, that we are ready on that day. We need to finish our stuff that we need to get done, and we just gotta do what we gotta do. So even if you knew all this, hopefully there's someone out there that didn't, so that they can know this today. So I'm just gonna lead on with these visions and whatever I received, and I'm just gonna, and also a dream, I suppose. So I'll just get on with that, and yeah, here it goes. Another vision I also received was not too sure if I'd seen a big snake and then maybe a shark biting on something. The interpretation I got was, don't know really what this means. Please take this to the Lord. Also, another vision I received was not too sure if I'd seen plane flying in circles, then smoke coming out possibly, then plane crashing down. And the vision I received was not too sure if I'd seen fast racing. I'm sorry. I thought I had. I guess I didn't receive an interpretation for that. Or I didn't get one. Or I didn't write one down on there. I guess I didn't type up an interpretation on this part. So I don't really know what the plane falling down, unless I could think of that as being 7-year Great Tribulation. I'm not too sure, but I could take a guess at that. Tell me your thought if you have any. Okay, so yes, the vision I did receive also was not too sure if I'd seen a fast racing car or some sort of car possibly going fast and maybe crashing, then maybe stuff falling down from top of somewhere, but God knows. Another vision I also received was possibly could have seen a person as a football player throwing a football and could have possibly gone high, then maybe a different football player throwing a football and could have gone far, and then maybe a different football player seeing a baby or a small child possibly spinning around on the field, but God knows. And maybe some football player could have got the child and bring it over to the side of the field where it could be safe, but God knows honestly. The interpretation I got was really have not a clue. Does this mean something will be safe, and will something happen or be thrown or tossed? What's God saying here in these visions? If they are from God, what could this mean? What could these mean? Please seek the Lord on this. Also, another vision I received was not too sure if I saw trash being dumped out and if someone was holding something with garbage in it and dumping out, but God knows. Not too sure if there was a man pointing a gun, then maybe pulling the trigger, then maybe different man possibly with bigger gun, but God knows. And the interpretation I got was not too sure if this is a war or what, but please seek the Lord on this. Also, another vision I received was could have been possibly someone drilling something. Could have been a drill bit being drilled into the left side of someone's head, but not too sure, though God knows. And the interpretation I got was this to do with the part of the 7-year Great Tribulation? God knows. So please seek the Lord about all this. Oh, I suppose there's another dream. There's a dream also received might have been a situation where I could have been asked, or could have been where I could have chose a ball or something. Not too sure if it was blue, but anyways, I think afterwards I could have had the ability to make ice or something when I was walking, but I'm not too sure if I had some power, but God knows. Also, not too sure if the scene switched in the dream, where I could have seen a cave, like looked where I knew could have been where the lake of fire could have been, but God honestly knows. I think I was in heaven, but not too sure, though God knows. I think I asked Jesus if I'd be going in the lake of fire, basically, and I think I got the answer I wouldn't, but He knows. God knows all this better than I, so please seek Him on that. And the interpretation I got was this to do with judgment. Please seek the Lord on this. Also, another vision I received was not too sure but could have seen a big enough tree as if top of it could have been spinning around in circles, kind of like merry-go-round. I don't know, but God knows. Also looked like things hanging off of it with maybe strings with metal things, but not too sure if strings were tied to metal things that were along with things like maybe paper things, like fun-looking things, or maybe people showing what some look like. I think I'd seen there were maybe people showing what some look like up close, but don't think I saw any people. But it's as if people were showing these things up close, and maybe could have seen a pic on one of them paper things on it. Could have been what could have looked like maybe pie, but not too sure. Interpretation I got was not too sure really what this means, but please seek the Lord on this. I gotta hurry up. Also, another dream I received was not too sure, but I think there might have been missiles, but whatever these things were, I don't think they were shooting off the ground very far, like of a foot in the air, if that. I mean, I believe I've seen some stuff shooting up, but not getting far whatsoever. Now, I'm not too sure if I heard something about if they were to basically, in other words, go far enough, they basically could destroy wherever it was going to go, but I'm not too sure about this. I know I've read stuff online, and you know there are things that are there are those who are practicing to launch missiles, I believe. Could this be what that is? God knows for sure. The interpretation I got was this is have to do with World War III. God knows, so please seek him on that. Forgive me if I went too fast again. Please, if you need to rewind it, watch this again, please do. Thank you for your time if you took this to watch this, and hopefully if you have any questions or comments, please share, and if you have this on your heart, please share this, and God bless.